Right, good morning. You join me today. I've come down to the Kennet and Avon Canal near Devizes. We've got an army match here on Wednesday of this week, so I thought I'd come down for a quick bit of a practice. Now then, usually I won't do this, but this time, because I feel as I'm quite confident on the canal, I'm going to show you through a few of my bits of kit that I use down here. I tend to fish quite a simple plan. I'll tend to fish a short line with bread, a longer line at 11 to 13 metres going up the far slope with ground bait and squat, which I haven't got with me today, so I'm not fishing that. I'll then fish a chop worm line somewhere along the far bank, and then lob worms or chop worm down the track. What I'm doing today, because I haven't got any squat, is I'm experimenting the difference between lob worms and, well, between worm and caster, because I've got a lovely far bank along here, so I'm going to fish a worm line straight in front of me, and then down 14.5 metres down off to my right there's a little brambly bit, and I'm going to be fishing caster down there later. I'm going to experiment with feeding it for a couple of hours and then having a quick look. I'm also experimenting with the whip on the short line to see if it's any quicker. So anyway, to the rigs quickly. Start off with my banker rig, which is my bread rig. This rig's won me quite a few matches, or at least framed me quite a few matches down here in the past. We'll start from the bottom. I've got a size 20 hook to an 08 hook length. I don't mess around with the hook lengths or hook sizes. Don't believe in using size 24s, gets you any more bites. I'd rather have a big hook that I can lift into the roach and then just swing it into hand when it's coming in. 4-inch hook link, and on the actual hook link knot I've got my first shot, which is a number 10. Then you've got the loop to the main line, which is 012. I fish 012, it's a nice rugged main line, and you can move the bulk up and down on it, and if it gets caught on the landing net, it doesn't matter, and then you're only losing the hook length. So it's a nice rugged main line, you can do a lot with it. And I've got the main bulk, which is number 8 stots. I use stots because they're more streamlined. Shot, you sometimes just chuck them on and then they're all higgledy-piggledy, which causes line twist. Don't want that. I want this rig to fish steady for the first hour and a half without any problems. Anyway, that shoots down along the top kit, 4.5 foot to a 0.6 gram DS14H. I use this float mainly because it's got a nice visible hollow bristle and a steady wire stem. Put the wrong rubber on it, brilliant. And then finally, up to the top, and I've got double number 4 elastic on a DAC rod. No silly pots or anything. I know a few of my mates who fish pots quite a lot and they do very well. That's my main bread rig, which has won me a fortune down, well, not a fortune, but it's won me a few quid down here in the past. The whip rig, exactly the same at the bottom end. So size 20 hook. I've got an 010 hook link on this one because I'm hoping to bag and try and show it off there against my pinky. So that's an 010 fluorocarbon hook link, single number 10 dropper. Then we got the bulk, 012 mainline again. I'm fishing a little waggler on this just for ease of casting. That's on a flick tip on a 4-metre whip. Right, across to the far side. Like I said, I've got 2 main lines over there. I'm going to be fishing caster, I'm going to be fishing chop worm. My chop worm rig for the far side is the same as my chop worm rig for down the track, except it'd be a bit bigger and a deeper float. Because I'm only fishing dendrils across, I've got a size 16 hook to an 012 hook link to an 017 mainline. That may sound a bit excessive, but if I see carp, or if I think there's tench in the area, or if it's really snaggy, I could go up to an 016 hook length. So I want a mainline to actually be able to offset the hook length. Then we've got the split shot down the line, couple of number 9 split shot, down to a little 4x10 Drennan dibber. The reason for this, basically visibility across on the far bank. You got that up against the reed, you're going to see it every time. If there's a bit of tow like there is today, you can trip the worm against the bottom. The worm will stay on the deck and it'll only dink when it's an actual bite. The elastic I got for this is double 5, simply because I just want something which is still nice and soft and will play the fish easy, but will tighten up quick, so if I have to ship back quick I can pull the fish away from the snags on the far bank. The final rig I've got is a bit of an experimental one. This is my caster rig for today. I've got size 20 hook again, not messing about, 010 fluorocarbon to an 013 mainline. The float is a 5 number 11 Mick Wilkinson ratty, nice visible hollow tip against the far bank. It's a nice short float because it's only 2 foot deep there. That's 013 mainline down to double number 2 elastic. This is an experiment as well. One of my mates has put me onto it. He said try this, it's awesome, so I will. So bait, quite simple, liquidised bread. All I do with this is I chuck it into a blender, cut the cross off, chuck it into a blender, I then chuck it through a small sieve. a 2mm sieve just to get rid of all the big lumps, and keep on chucking that through. When I've here this morning, I put a little bit of water in it just to help it to bind together and put a bit of weight into it so it sinks down straight away. Last thing you want is if there's a bit of tow, like there is today, for you to actually feed and then watch it bob half a yard downstream and then start to sink and cause a big cloud, because then you're fishing over there. You're not feeding in front of yourself, you're feeding down tow. So then you've got to fish on that and all that sort of good stuff. Other baits I got, really simple, pint of castor and a little bit of worm, a little bit of Dundee's. Oh, and a few slices of bread as well, just for on the punch. And we'll give it a go. Later on this afternoon, I might set up a big perch rig. If I do that, I'll go down the track, heavy elastic and lobworms. I'll feed 3 or 4 lobworms. I just want to get some fish in the net before I start fannying about with that though. So yeah, there we go. I'll chuck the camera up and we'll see how we get on. Status update is, it's going very well. Okay, bit of a status update. I was sat down there, but as you can see the bank's collapsed, so now I'm sat up here. It's just taken me 10 minutes to get everything squared away. In that time I've fed a lobworm line down there at 13 metres in the middle of the track, and we're going to leave that for 20 minutes to see what happens. Alright, speak to you in a bit. Right, bit of a tactical change. I've been fishing for a few hours now, and after nearly falling in, all the fish have backed off. I've tried the worm lines, I've had nothing on those. So what I've done is I've got another top kit out of the bag. I've done a little bread rig for fishing across in, what's that, 3.5 foot of water. Size 20 hook, 08 bottom, standard fare, little bulk, single dropper, 012 mainline. The float is a KC Tarper F1 in, what's that, 4x12s. And then I've got a fair bit of line up to 2x2. It's working well. I've had 20 fish in 20 put-ins. I'm going to put a little bit more bait in and crack on for a while. Right, speak to you in a bit. Okay, the more I'm trying on the worm, I'm failing to catch a fish on it. I've had no bites on worm as yet. Maybe one, but it wasn't anything concrete. What I'm going to do now, chuck a couple of extra barrels on, and I'm going to go up and into that gap there. I'm going to feed dendies, I think. I'm just going to feed worm, no castor with it, and I'm going to give that a go. Plumb it up, give it a go, give it an hour, see where we go from that. I'm catching small fish on bread. I could catch those all day. I've had a really good first hour and a half. I've probably had 10 pound of fish in the first hour and a half. And then it's just become a grind, just trying to catch as many of them as you physically can on bread, I think. I might, come match day, I've got squat, so they might be a better option. I might catch them quicker. Might be able to get some more of those skimmers to settle on it, I don't know. But I'm going to go for a look up there with worm now. And we'll see if we can't get a couple of bonus fish. But yeah, it's tricky, it's really hard. Right, it's the end of my little session. I've had a really good day. I've had a few of these absolutely beautiful skimmers. I've got a net here. It's got to be close to 20 pound if it's an ounce. I've had a really nice day. It's all been on bread. I haven't had a single bite on worm that I can confirm. I haven't had a bite on castor I can confirm. So roll on Wednesday. A few more of them. Had some nice little hybrids. Oh, out you come, like that sort of size. And lots of these little buggers, little roach. So yeah, brilliant day. Just slipping back. Hopefully without slipping myself back. Yeah, so the plan now is to basically pack up most of my kit, and I'm going to give it another hour looking for a perch. Not hopeful, but I might get something on lobworm late, just as the sun goes behind these trees. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed it. I shall see you next time.